Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Her Business Elevated podcast, and Happy New Year. I'm so excited here in 2025 to be with you as we kick off a brand new year full of possibilities. It's time to stop holding back and to step into this creative energy that's been waiting just for you. And I'm your host, Demetria Zinga, your excited, passionate, and real-life content creation coach. I hope you all had an amazing holiday season full of rest and joy and hopefully new beginnings. And I'm beyond thrilled to start 2025 with you. And let me just tell you, some big things are coming. This year, I'm shifting my focus just a bit, and I'm dedicating more of my time to building up my YouTube channel. I've got this solopreneur channel that I will leave a link to, and I know it's going to be a game changer for you as you grow your business. So again, I'll leave that link in the show notes, so go check it out and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss all the exciting content that's coming your way. But today, let's talk about something that is going to set you free this year, and that's overcoming your content creation fear. Yes, that thing holds so many of us back from showing up as the content creators that we're meant to be. And the number one thing I hear from my clients and listeners is that they're scared. They're scared to share their content. And maybe you're second guessing yourself. Maybe you're afraid of judgment, or even comparing your work to others and feeling like you just aren't good enough. But guess what? You're not alone. And I've been there too. In fact, it's something that even the most seasoned content creators face at some point. So I'm here today to help you push past that fear and start creating content that really matters. And hopefully in the upcoming year, I will have a few guests that will also help us to be inspired in the area of content creation. So you'll hear from me and you'll hear from a few others. And together we're going to encourage you that you really and truly can do this. So let's talk about understanding content creation anxiety. You know that fear you feel when you're about to hit publish on your content right before you hit the publish button? It's a real fear. And for many of us, it's easy to fall into a cycle of creating and then deleting and then rethinking without actually sharing anything. The root of that fear often comes from comparison and perfectionism, which I talk about on my YouTube channel as well, and a big fear of criticism. But listen to me when I say this, nobody starts perfect. I have been creating content for over 20 years, and my early work, let me just tell you, it was far from perfect. But you know what? It still had value, and that's what kept me going. Your voice matters, and even if you don't think it's perfect, it's about showing up, helping someone, and just knowing that what you create has the potential to make a difference. Let me tell you why your voice matters. If you've been wondering, why should I get out there? Let me tell you why. You may be looking at other creators out there with their fancy reels and perfectly edited videos, and you might feel like you're not measuring up. But hear me when I say you matter. Your voice matters. Your story, your perspective, your knowledge, it is powerful. Now, whether you're creating a YouTube video or a podcast episode or a blog post, it's all about serving your audience. And even if you feel like your content is not at the highest level yet, it's still valuable. The feedback I've gotten from people who've said things like, your podcast episode helped me make a tough decision, or that blog post gave me so much clarity. It just reminds me every day that it's not about perfection, it's about connection. So how do we get past this fear and start creating with confidence? Just a quick plug, I do have a course that's entitled Content with Confidence, and I will leave a link for that course if you are interested in getting a motivational boost to get you started on creating your content. So that will be in the show notes. My first tip for you is to embrace imperfection. Your first few pieces of content, my friend, will not be perfect. And that's perfectly okay. You've got to let go of that perfectionism mindset and just start creating. Trust me, I look back at my first podcast episodes and I cringe. And of course, my videos are even cringier. But I'm grateful for them because looking back, I can see the growth that has happened over the years. And it's encouraging to know that what I'm doing today is far better than what I did 15 years ago. And so I'm just so grateful. And also these videos and these podcast episodes and blog posts have helped me to grow. So in doing the work, I'm growing. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Just get started doing the work. And the second thing is to reframe your mindset. Shift from this competition idea to contribution. You're not here to compete with other people. You're here to help your audience. Focus on adding value and not on outshining someone else. When you realize your content is about helping people, that pressure to be perfect, it just completely falls away. So you're just here to be a support system and a help to those who are your audience, the people that you're called to work with. Don't worry about competing. The third thing is to set manageable goals. You want to start small, like seriously small. Don't try to make a 20-minute YouTube video right out the gate if that's not your thing. Instead, you can start with a quick Instagram reel or a 300-word blog post, something really short and quick and easy for you to do. Those small steps will build your confidence and get you in the habit of creating consistently. And that's what we're going for, consistency, right? So if you find that creating this 25, 30-minute video every single week is too overwhelming to even think about because it's too long of a video, too much content, then scale it back. Make a 15-minute video, make a 10-minute video. Start small and then grow from that. The fourth tip I have for you is to leverage short form content. And that goes right along with those small manageable goals that I just talked about, because platforms like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, these are perfect for testing out your ideas, especially if you don't have everything planned out just yet about what you want to talk about. Maybe you have some ideas of the type of content you want to create, but you're not quite sure and you haven't nailed your niche just yet. That's okay. You don't have to nail it. Just play around with some ideas. I've had, like I said in another episode, I've created over 10 brands over the years, and these are all different types of brands, anything from health and holistic care to homeschooling to Christianity and faith and now business. So I have done a lot of different things under different topics and brands. And I've learned how to nail the niche that feels good to me in this space of my life. So in order to do that, sometimes you have to start with small content, small pieces of content. So you're not creating these long drawn out content pieces that don't serve you in the long run because you don't end up staying with that niche anyway. So this will give you a chance to create these quick, engaging content without the pressure of perfection. So just play around with these different platforms until you find your style that works for you. And my fifth tip for you is to focus on your audience. When you create, I want you to think of the person who's going to benefit from your content. Make this your ideal person that you are honed in on. In your mind, in your head, you have to be thinking about this particular person and how you're helping them. Visualize them and speak to them directly like a friend. And when you focus on serving that person, it makes the process so much more rewarding for you and for them when they're listening to you. Now I'm going to hit you with some actionable tips to help you thrive in content creation this year. And my first tip, I'm going to reiterate this tip over and over again because it's such an important one, but I love batch creating. And so batch creation is important. Set aside a day to create those multiple pieces of content at one time. It's going to save you so much stress and keep you consistent. Then you'll want to repurpose that content. So one idea can be shared in several different ways. A blog post can become a podcast episode or a video or a social media post. Just get creative. And that's exactly what I'm doing on this episode. This episode was initially a video, and I've taken that video on YouTube and I've created a podcast for you guys. So this is a different format for you to consume it if you're more of a listener to this show than you are watching me on YouTube. But I like to do this because it allows me to take one idea and manage that idea, sharing that idea in so many different ways. And then you'll want to use tools, platforms like Canva, Trello. These can all help you stay organized and streamline your content creation process. I'm currently using Notion. I love Notion right now. It's becoming kind of a brain dump for me, a second brain, so to speak. I really like Notion, and I've come off of Trello and I've come off of Asana, and now I'm doing everything in Notion. I do have an Evernote account as well, but Notion's becoming the thing for me. So just a tip for those of you who are creatives who love to have that second brain. That's what Notion has been doing for me, and I love it. So I highly recommend it. It's making my life a lot easier. So find tools that work for you and work them. Use them to make your life more streamlined when it comes to your content. And then lastly, I want you to track your progress. Take note of how far that you've come over the the weeks and the months, and then a year and another year and so forth, because looking back at your progress is really going to encourage and inspire you to keep going on this journey. And I know that the temptation to delete that old imperfect content is real, but I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't delete it. Those early pieces show your journey and they remind your audience that you didn't start like a pro. And guess what? Someone might still find value in those old pieces of content. So keep it up and keep those videos up. Keep those podcast episodes up. I still have my videos from over 10 years ago and my podcast episodes as well from way, way, way back in the day. Today, I'm pretty embarrassed and I cringe every time I listen to them or watch them. And I almost want to just delete them or put them on private so nobody can consume this content that I don't really want floating around out there because it does not represent who I am today. But I keep it up because I know that that content still is valuable to someone, somewhere, somehow. And that's the reason why I've kept them. So if it's not too embarrassing, keep your content up. And this will help your audience to see your journey, how far you've come, and to see like how you got started. It might even inspire them to get started. So it's time to take this leap. This year, I want you to write down 3 topics that you're passionate about. Pick one of those topics and then outline a simple structure and create something around it. Whether it's a blog post or a video or a podcast episode, but don't overthink it. Just do the work, create that outline, create the content, and then hit publish and then move forward. That's all I want you to do. Just break through the fear and do it. And the truth is, success does not come overnight. But you know what? You'll get there. By embracing imperfection and focusing on value, you're going to overcome your fear, and I promise you, the world is ready for your voice. And before we wrap up, remember, big things are coming from me this year. I've got new products on the way, and I'm so excited for you to get your hands on these products. So stay tuned, and let's make 2025 the year that we stop holding back and we show up as the amazing content creators that we are. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And remember, as always, you've got this. And until next time, take care of yourself and your business, and to your online business success.